As you know, I finished Link Click not so long ago and I felt an urge to watch another time travel anime. And what's better than going back to the anime that started it all? And I'm talking about Erased. And as it always go, rewatching an anime after a couple of years, you always notice different things and you have a completely different view on the anime you watched. And I noticed this throughout my review series where I really rewatch a lot of those animes and I realize a lot of things that I didn't notice the first time. And I think it comes mainly from me being older, but also noticing things that I didn't think were interesting before. And really rewatching Erased made me realize something. The core concept of Erased is not really time travel, and it's not really a murder mystery either. Maybe a tiny bit, but really I realized that Erased is about what happens when someone starts paying attention to a different person who is struggling, who everyone else ignores. And I think that's why it hit me so hard now after rewatching it after all these years. If you are new here, I talk about anime. Most of the times I rewatch a lot of them and I try to see the anime from different point of views. I try to be as honest as possible, I try to not sugarcoat things, and I try to give non-biased verdicts and ratings to anime. But of course, sometimes I'm biased. It is what it is. If that sounds good to you, then definitely give a like or subscribe if you can. It really helped me and helped my mental health as well. But let's talk about the setup. Satoru has this ability called Revival, which basically sends him back in time before something bad happens. But when something bad happens at home, he doesn't get sent back a couple of seconds or a specific time, he actually gets sent back 18 years into his childhood. Why he has this ability? I don't think you're gonna get this question answered actually. Does it matter? No. The most anime will turn this into a power fantasy, right? Adult brain in a kid's body, you can do whatever you want, you can speedrun the cases, you are smarter than everyone, you know, easy peasy. But not me. I would just enjoy life and I guess I would just invest in Google or Facebook. I don't know. I'm a simple man. But Erased doesn't do that, of course. Instead, Satoru, who is the main character and who gets sent back, is basically solving a murder case which is most likely connected to his mother dying in real time. Because remember, he gets sent back in time when something bad happens. And when his mom dies, then the thing that was connected to this was 18 years back. So he gets sent back and he's still a kid. He cannot walk to a police station and say something. He cannot go and just, you know, do regular things as an adult. And he still cannot invest. And he's really limited in every way because adults don't listen to him because, I mean, he's a kid, right? But the only real power he has currently is the knowledge, and this time he's choosing to see what everyone else ignored. The biggest superpower you can have is reaching out to people who need help. And I really love this premise because in this day and age of super overpowered main characters, really the power of the main character is really just giving a fuck. And this is where Kaio comes in, and she's the child who disappeared basically 18 years ago, which is connected to Satoru's mom dying. And a lot of the scenes with her involve child abuse moments. But throughout the series, she really changes, there is a lot of character development, and she really starts to become human. She's not just some emotion machine. But you really cannot blame her because really being a victim of child abuse is a really serious issue. So I think it's depicted really well in her character and how she behaves. And really her changing is all thanks to Satoru because he really started caring about her. Her story is about child suffering and really child abuse, and the show handles this perfectly. It really doesn't over-explain anything. It uses silence, an empty seat at school, a random bruise on the neck that Satoru notices, and you kinda piece together everything that's happening the same way that Satoru does, by noticing the small things that everyone is looking past. And really there is one moment for me that defines what the anime is about. And it's really not a fight scene, it's really not a crazy plot twist, it's really Satoru inviting Kaio for his birthday. That's it. It's that one safe moment that he is giving to her in her life where she has no safe moments. Because the show is telling you something, heroism in this anime is really not about being strong or being smart, it's really just being there for that other person. And really it's about seeing someone who was invisible and is invisible for a lot of people, but you decide to notice this person. And keep in mind, these things happen in real life too. And this is where it really gets philosophical, and I know that's very heavy for a Saturday evening, but really bear with me. That's where my POV from watching Erased this time is coming from, is really asking the brutal question: if everyone around Kaio could see the signs of what is happening to her, Why did nobody act? If Satoru failed the first time, what happened the second time? He actually listened. And this theme really runs through everything and through the whole anime. Not only Satoru, but his friends start noticing these things too, thanks to him. And honestly, I think after watching Link League and Erased again, I think I'm going a bit crazy into my head. But yeah, this is like time travel anime, right? Like it always asks you the question, what would you do differently if you could time travel? Now, visually, Erased is not really something that will really blow your mind. It's not really something that goes into your face, like for example, Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan. I think the animation and the art really is supporting the vibe of the whole anime. Because keep in mind, this anime is really about bad things happening too. And really the music, I think the opening is absolutely great. I think the ending is also perfect, and really the OST during the whole anime is not really to overpower any scene. It's really supporting well the whole vibe of the anime. And I also think the voice acting is really good, and it's very important because in this kind of shows and mainly psychological animes, the voice acting is so important. Now, is really Erased perfect? I don't think so. I think it has some flaws. I think in the first part of the anime there is a lot of tension, a lot of plot twists, a lot of great scenes, a lot of strong emotions. I think it's very strong. I think the first half is absolutely perfect. I will give it a 10 out of 10 if they would manage to replicate the first 6 episodes into the second part. Now, I think the issue comes in the second part, where the second part is not really matching the energy and the whole vibe of the first part. And let's not forget about the ending, which is, I think, one of the most debated things about this anime. I think the anime went like this, and then once it came to an end, I think it went like this. And also another thing that I was very unhappy about is really the culprit. So I think the culprit was pretty obvious pretty early in the show, and what I hate the most is that, like, literally, if you think about it, if you think about the characters, there was literally no option B. Like, you couldn't even guess that there is maybe someone else. You know, it was obvious from the start who is it gonna be. That character got a lot of screen time for no reason, and obviously we then knew why. Now, as we always do on this channel, let's rate this anime. Animation, 8 out of 10. Music, 9 out of 10. Characters and character development, 8 out of 10. Story, 9 out of 10. And rewatch value, 8 out of 10. My final verdict for Erased is 8 out of 10. I honestly would give Erased a 9, maybe even, but I think it doesn't deserve the 9 rating because of the second part of the anime. And believe me, I think this anime is absolutely one of the greatest 12 episodes anime. Because keep in mind, usually during 12 episodes you are not able to really tell a huge story. But I think Erased handled this perfectly. The tension that is building over the course of the anime is insane. And I really highly suggest to go watch it. You can binge it in one night. It's just 12 episodes. And believe me, if you like psychological animes, if you like time travel, or maybe a bit of drama, I think you will really love this one. What do you think about Erased? Did you like it? What was your favorite moment? Do you think the ending was good? If you made it this far, thank you very much. Do this, do that, and let's make a deal. As always, we will see each other next week.